So once again, we need a new way to factor because our old ways of factoring doesn't work. So far we've learned greatest common factor, which I do not have a greatest common factor here because of the 7. 7 doesn't go into 48 or 36, and there's no x common between all of them, so greatest common factor doesn't work. The star puzzle as we know it will not work because if I list all the factors of 36, let me list those real quick. So 1 and 36, 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 4 and 9, and 6 and 6. None of those are going to get me 48. None of them at all. Because honestly, the highest I can go right here is 37, even if I add those together to be plus signs. So tomorrow I'm going to show you a strategy to find it. Today we're going to do guess and check. So what we have to do, now that normal star method doesn't work, just using these numbers doesn't work, I'm going to have to now use the 7. Now today, here's how I'm going to make it a little bit easier on you. All of your first numbers are going to be prime, which means my only options are 7x and 1x, and I'm going to leave off the 1, but 7x times x is 7x squared. And then we're going to use these numbers, and we're going to guess and check until we get the 48 in the middle using double distribution. So what you'll want to do as you're doing your work is you'll want to stop when it's obviously not the right answer. So you're not actually going to have to completely do out your double distribution. Stop when you know it's not going to be the 48. You can start anywhere on this list. You can start at the top, you can start in the middle, you can start at the end, you can start randomly. But here's what we're going to have to do. So I'm going to start from the top just to kind of show you how it works. So 1 and 36. So if I put 1 there and 36 there. So I'm guaranteed to have the 7x squared at the front, and I'm guaranteed to have the 36 at the end. That is guaranteed. It is that 48 in the middle that I need to check on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my multiplication, 7 times 36. Now think about that. We might even be able to be a little bit more strategic with this because 7 times 36 is 252. Now, all of your problems today are going to be all positive. There's not going to be any negatives involved. So there's not going to be any way to make that 252x smaller. There's going to be no way to turn that into 48x. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. That is obviously not right. But here's what I can do. The 1 didn't have to go first, and the 36 didn't have to go second. So I could put the 36 there and not the 7, sorry, and put the 1 there. So you have to try it both ways. Now again, I'm making this as easy as possible with your front number being prime and all positives, because think about if there were multiple ways to do the first number and multiple ways to do the second number plus negatives thrown in. This could get really, really messy really fast. So this is not the method you want to rely on to factor, but this is one of the methods we're going to try just to wrap our brain around some things. So I got my 7x squared. 7x times 1 is 7x. 36 times x is 36x. Now I know I'm going to get the 36 at the end, but we'll just test it out. So 7 plus 36 is 43x, which is close to 48x, but it doesn't match perfectly. I still don't have that 40x in the middle, or 48x in the middle. So I'm just going to start over. It was getting kind of messy. So 1 and 36 is out. It didn't work either way. So you might choose to go to the next, and then the next, and then the next. You may choose to jump around. It's up to you. I'm going to go ahead and try the 6 and 6 just because I don't have to flip-flop those because they're the same number. So it either works the first time or it doesn't work the first time, because all these others, I would have to try both orders. I would have to try 2 here, 18 here. If that didn't work, I'd have to try 18 here and 2 there, so on and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe get this out of the way if it doesn't work. Or maybe I'm going to get lucky. Let's just see what happens. So 7x squared, 7 times 6 is 42, 6 times x is 6x, and I know I'm going to get the 36 at the end. So 42 plus 6, guess what? That is 48x. I found it. So it's checked, it's done. So my answer, the factored version, is this right here. I'm just going to write it down so it's out of that big mess. So it's going to be your job today to find the correct combination for each problem. Again, front numbers are going to be prime, so you really only have one option for those. So it's really the back two numbers that you're guessing and checking. Try to come up with some strategies. Stop when it's obviously not going to work to make your work a little bit quicker and a little bit easier. Try to work smarter, not harder, right, as you try to figure these out. And I'll show you a strategy that's going to take away all the guessing and checking tomorrow.